Okay, again, I was not going to do another video today, but something intuitively was compelling me to speak on a topic that was brought up in a comment that came in through the last week, I believe. And I apologize, I cannot remember the name of the commenter. When I do, I can add it into the subject for the video. However, this is a topic on a question brought up about INTJs and about the whole concept of having good decor sense as well as style sense. And I find it, again, ironic that I'm wearing a hooded sweatshirt right now as I'm doing this video, but again, I felt the need. So anyways, it's really interesting about that concept, and I will go into more detail in the comment section and respond to that particular commenter with more of the specifics regarding what he was interested in. But for a larger over-the-top type of video, I thought it brought up some interesting questions. So we hear a lot about how INTJs are, we don't care about what we look like, or we don't care about, you know, external features in life because we're so internally driven. And to an extent, I 100% agree. I've talked to this type of thing before in a previous video, and what I find though is that I think it's a mix of both. So we are also very creative in the way that, and intelligent in the way that we understand that whatever we're projecting to the world has a direct influence on how we're going to experience the world. So a lot of people just go through their everyday experiences and don't care what they put on. They don't care what they look like. And I have to argue that for myself personally, regardless, if I am not caring what I'm putting on, I am making a conscious decision to not care. But everything is a mindful next step on how I'm going to put myself out into society. So for myself personally, sorry, I have to have a drink. My mouth is really dry. Excuse me. Myself personally, I wear boring colors. I like everything very neutral. And my personal philosophy for that for my entire life is that I am not one that is flamboyant. I don't want to be the center of attention. I want to have myself convey a type of image of being solid, or actually basically a good point would be, I don't want what I'm wearing to be the topic of conversation. I'd rather have it help deliver the message that I'm trying to portray. So other people might want to have that external piece be what is speaking on their behalf, and I feel that I am the opposite. So classic styling is my thing. My motto is always, I'm never in style and I'm never out of style. It's just basic, boring, but the way you put it together is what makes it more interesting. So getting to that topic, point I want to talk about is our interest in aesthetics. Now, I'm speaking from my own personal thoughts, and let's also be aware that I am coming from a position that I have anxiety. So I find that having calming environments and what I'm wearing helps with taking away some of that anxiety that goes forward. That being said, I wonder if there is some sort of part of us, and I'd love to hear other people's opinions on this, regarding aesthetics. So what is visually appealing to you as a person? Everyone obviously has different style. However, when it makes your eyes happy to land on that object or that outfit or whatever, that is the goal for me. It's not just, this is a cool thing to do, therefore I'm going to have it. And it's been that way my entire life. So the aesthetic side kind of flies into the concept of your home. And an example for myself is that being self-employed for the last couple of years, I had many times that I have to work from home and I can't handle clutter. It drives me crazy. My husband doesn't even notice stuff around. And by no means am I a clean freak. Let's set that straight right there. But what I like is having it where my eyes can settle on things and the clutter doesn't impede on my emotional state. Because I'm wondering if extroverted sensing really kicks into high gear when you don't even realize it's what's bugging you, but it's bugging you. So fixing it helps. So getting to the aesthetic side, it really seems to be almost an intuitive thing on building compositions within the home. So what I should just say as a caveat is part of what I was talking about before with regards to kind of branching out, going into the writing thing. I'm also going to be building into the Instagram thing, which I've talked to you about before, but it's going to go into more of the day-to-day life type thing that is Instagram. But it might also tie into other things regarding home and decor, not hardcore, but just more like questions like this, where it's really interesting for someone to articulate that type of question. So for myself, a big thing is compositions. So what you do to make, say, a counter or a shelf look visually appealing. Everyone has their own 2 cents on that. But ever since I was very little, I was very clear on how to build these types of compositions. And I always look and study to see if there's something else that I see that I find attractive to be able to incorporate within my own stuff to achieve that type of goal. So you're kind of almost growing with your style, even though it's still within your realm. So speaking to that as well, I'm kind of jumping all over here, but they all kind of tie together. Where with the Instagram component, what I'm also wanting to do is look more for posting images of day-to-day, not necessarily what I'm wearing, but why I'm wearing it. And the reason why is because I know for myself, because I have boring clothes, we call them basics, classics, whatever. The fact is they're boring, but there's no point in me getting rid of them because I'm just going to buy the same thing again. But I'm interested in seeing if there's another way of making something look more up to date, not up to date, but more a different look, I guess. And so the Instagram piece is going to tie to that so that anyone else who's out there who's interested in that can also be able to potentially see if some of the pieces that I wear is something that they can also interpret in their own wardrobe and make their lives a little bit easier without having to guess what they're going to wear. So anyways, that's a high level about that component. I will respond again to that comment. Anyways, as always, if you have a video request, please toss it in the comment section and make sure that you put video request at the beginning so I can capture it. Thank you.